How's it going, everybody? I'm very excited to share with you this really cool Ableton Live pack that will give you transitional sounds and noises that really help you move between sections in your tracks. At the heart, it's made up of white noise and also kind of like sub-bass sounds. So the first thing you're going to see when you look inside the project here are all these clips, and there are 100 clips of just different transitional sounds, and they are all loaded into the demo set right here on this track. So we've got a bunch of white noises. You see these 2B means this will last 2 bars. So this is warped. You drop it in any track you want and it'll be a 2-bar noise transition. This is another 2-bar one. We have 4-bar space drop. Some different kind of noises there. Laser gun. All kinds of different things. Back from the Future, this one is called here. And you'll notice these get launched in time with your session, and they last a given amount of time thanks to the warping there. And there's a pretty exciting one. Bombs Away. Let's see what's going on here. We've got a whole collection of reversed cymbals, which are really handy. This one I called Black Ice. Almost sounds like something freezing over. Alien Arrival here. Bunch of different sounds. So there's over 100 of these clips. So those are really handy for you to have. And there goes our alien spaceship. So those are easy to launch. You can just open up this project right here, this set, and you can just drag this entire track right onto any production you're working on, and they'll all be there for you to use with the push of a button on your MIDI controller of choice. Next over, I want to show you some of the instruments here. Now this is what I like to call the cinema bass drop synth. So if you've seen like movie trailers or something, right before something serious happens, you'll always hear this like kind of like low-pitched bass thing going on. I made some clips for you to fool around with. Some of them have a little extra noise. Really handy thing to have. And you've got some nice control over like how long the drop time is. I think this is 13 seconds. And we can do something real quick. Now please keep in mind, in order to hear this, you need to have a speaker system with the ability to transmit these low frequencies. But you can even use it in much higher ranges and get interesting things like that. You can add in some noise to your sound and the frequency of that noise, and also the noise type, just to kind of give it a little extra flavor. I like to keep that kind of low and let the sub bass do the work there. Very cool sound, you know, you hear it all the time in productions, and especially in movies these days. Next over, we have the analog noise machine, and that's created with a bunch of samples of white noise from some analog synths. There's a couple devices in here. I'm going to close this up, and what you got here when you press a key is a whole bunch of noise. Right now there's a little chorus on it, which I can turn down and turn back up to add to my effect. And you'll see these knobs called Turn Me, and this really gives you like these nice noise transitions. Just with the turn of a knob, and you can like program these in real time. Play around with the amount of resonance on those. Here's the low pass one. I'll crank up the resonance. You might hear I've got delay on there as well, and that will give you just a little more action and excitement to your sound. You can turn that off and get a nice clean sound. And you also got some cool, when you play around with delay time, you get these like nice stretchy noises. So this is to sort of build like your own transitional sounds, which is really fun. And there are some clips on here too as well that you can launch. You know, you can just put this in your session view, hit a clip, and it will get launched in time with your music. This is again 2 bars. 2B indicates 2 bars. And let's see, moving forward now, to the right, what I've got is a set of 6 different drum racks. And these drum racks each have 16 transitional noises. And what you can see here is you also have control over how those sound too. You can transpose these. as you play them. Play around with the release times and the filters. There's a lot of control over each of these sounds, and there are 6 drum racks that have these kind of cool transitional noises. I'll show you a couple more of these. Reverse cymbals here. Very handy for if you have, like, say, like a Launchpad or Ableton Push. You can just put these right on to your track, and you'll be able to launch them in real time in live performances or in any recording you may be doing. It's kind of more of an 8-bit sound right here. You have control over some cool things like the transpose and the spread. And the final part of these guys are some audio effect racks I've built. So you're going to get 4 audio effect racks. You see all of this stuff is in the presets here too in your project. Audio effects and as well as the instruments. So you're going to get 8 instruments, 4 audio effect racks. And just to give you an idea of what these sound like, I'm going to open up our noise machine instrument and just kind of hold down some white noise, and I'll turn off the delay. Our channel strip is something I like to drop on pretty much any track I use. It's pretty simple. It's just an EQ8 and a compressor, but with the turn of a knob you get a low pass filter. You can control the resonance on that filter, so we can make the peaks go up and down. Let's see, we've also got a high pass filter. And I like these controls because when I'm starting a new track, you know, if I know it's something that doesn't need much bass, I can just turn up the high pass filter right off the bat and cut out all those lows nice and easy. And the other part you have is this compressor here too, so you can compress your signal and adjust the ratio and the attack and the release. The compressor turns off as soon as you turn the knob all the way to the right, so it doesn't eat any CPU whatsoever. So that's the channel strip, very handy thing here. We've got a multi-band pumper, which gives you this like kind of a sort of pumping to the beat effect, which we're hearing right now. I'll set them all to quarter notes at first here. So now everything's pumping together. We can maybe not have the low frequencies pump so much. Maybe we can cut out the pump on the mid. So now just the high stuff is pumping. I'll cut that out and I'll let you hear just like the lows and the mids pumping. And you can change the rates of the pump individually on each one of these bands, which is pretty cool. So I find this to be really useful for getting some creative sounds and effects going on in the tracks, especially when you start combining this with some of your other sounds and effects here. So let me turn that off, and we'll bring out the regular pumper. And this pumper just does the pump on all of the bands at the same time. You can change the rate just like you can in the other one. This one also features a little fine tune of the pump, which allows you to really make the pump a little more distinct. And we've also got a delay with some controls for that delay as well, which is nice and fun. And we'll turn that off, minimize these guys, and I will show you the spin out, which is a pretty cool effect. This is going to give you some crazy kind of filter modulations in your headphones. So I'm going to put my low pass filter going, and I've got an LFO. We can change the intensity of that spin out, and we can change the speed. And we've also got a high pass filter that does the same thing to give us even more madness here. And on top of that, add in some delay and some chorus. And now we've taken a simple white noise and done some pretty interesting spatial things in the headphones here. So that's the pack. You get these 4 effects, which are a lot of fun. You can use them on any project. And you get these 8 instruments, which are really great. You can sculpt your own noises. You can create your own cinema bass drops. And you've got drum racks loaded up with these sounds ready to go. On top of that are 100 clips of various types of white noises, transitional sounds, laboratory bubbles here, all kinds of things that will make your tracks more interesting when you're switching between parts, when you're trying to change between new songs in your live set. I found this to be super useful, and I hope you do too. Thanks a lot for watching, and enjoy.